Hello, so this is a video I've wanted to make for a while. Top 5 tips on how to lose weight, but not just any weight, we're talking body fat. Generally when we're talking about weight loss, that includes muscle mass, body fat, water. When I first started, I was 340 pounds. I'm now down to 229, so I've still got a bit to go, but I think I've got plenty of experience to kind of pass on some of this knowledge to you, and hopefully you'll find some of this helpful. So tip one is eat single ingredient foods. So when you're thinking about going on a diet for the first time, you're generally going to want to eat clean. You'll have heard eat clean, and by ridding your cupboards, your fridge, pantry, whatever you want to call it, of foods that are processed that have more than one ingredient, you're going to immediately reduce your calorie intake. Now, single ingredient foods, we're talking things like lean meats, single vegetables. You can combine these things, but don't look for lower calorie alternatives to the things that you've been eating. Make them yourself. Get a slow cooker. You can put together some amazing things in a slow cooker. Set it off before you go to work, and when you come home, you've got a clean meal that's convenient for yourself because it's just ready to eat. Tip two, you'll have heard people say eat less, move more. I hate the idea of this because I eat more now than I ever did when I was obese. I think the better idea is to eat fewer calories and train. And I make the distinction between training and exercise there, or training and moving there, because exercise is just moving without a purpose. When you train, you're training for a purpose. So I'd recommend powerlifting, even bodybuilding if you're into the idea of sprinting, just something, whatever it is, that gets you into the gym or out onto the street and doing some exercise, or training with a purpose, exercise with a purpose. That can only be a good idea for you. If you're looking for a beginner strength training program, Mark Rippetoe's Starting Strength, you can Google that. You'll get some great. There's all sorts of knowledge out there about that. Strongest 5x5. That's how I started training. Fantastic, again, 5x5 program. It's going to give you something to stick to. There are apps for these that you can get on any of the app stores, I'm sure, and that's going to give you some kind of direction with your training. A lot of the form and technique can be researched on YouTube or by Googling the things that it is that you want to do. I know Stronglist 5x5 has a website with step-by-step tutorials on how to perform each of the movements. You can't go wrong with it. Tip 3, track your foods and be honest with yourself. I'm guilty of not being honest with myself sometimes. I'll underestimate some of the calories of some of the things that I'm eating. If you use an app like Noom Coach, MyFitnessPal is the one that I use. There is hundreds of thousands of user submitted calories and macro countings. Anything that you eat, tap it into the app. You can even plan ahead, so you can have your entire week's worth of food planned ahead for you, so that you don't need to be tapping it in every day. And as long as you stick to that, and you stick to the goals that it sets for you, I mean, I think it's reasonable. The app can calculate for you kind of roughly how many calories you need for a safe weight loss per week. So 2 pounds, or 1 kilo, which is 2.2 pounds. That's a safe rate of weight loss. And the app can do that for you. If you find that the first couple of weeks you probably will lose a lot more weight than that, because of water, because you're not taking in the salt, you're probably not eating the amount of carbs that you had been eating. You can tweak that over time. Tip 4, now this is a big one to keep you on track. Cheat meal once per week. I like a Saturday evening. Generally make it the last thing you eat that day, so then you're not tempted to keep eating cheaty foods. Have a bit of what you want. It'll keep you on track. If we restrict our calories, and if we restrict our menu choices and the things that we can eat for a prolonged period of time, it's going to cause you some serious You're gonna have problems with temptation, really. I find that if I'm really strict to myself and I don't cheat on a weekend, um, you feel miserable. So cheat once a week, one meal, not a whole day, just one meal on the Saturday evening, the last meal of the day. Make it something that you've wanted all week because it makes it worth it. I find when I was eating pizzas and all sorts of dirty, cheaty foods all the time, I didn't really appreciate it. But now when I have some of that stuff on a Saturday evening, I really appreciate it. I really enjoy it, and it spurs you on. Plus, if you've been cutting or dieting for any considerable amount of time, you may suffer from metabolic slowdown. You may find that after a while, the amount of calories that you're eating, or the amount of how far into your deficit you are, is not going to cut it anymore, because as you lose body weight, your body's going to need fewer and fewer calories to maintain its own weight. So cheat meal once a week, that can just give your metabolism that boost that it needs to carry on, and not slow down. Tip 5, this is a huge one for me. Take regular progress pictures for comparison. Compare yourself, whether it be by week to week, whether it be by month. Post them online, post them to Facebook, post them to Instagram, post them to your friends. Get feedback, because that feedback is going to be super useful, even if it's just people telling you well done. I still get it these days, and it gives you an incredible boost to your confidence, when your peers or your friends or your family tell you that what you're doing is amazing and that you're an inspiration, and all sorts of nice things. And you'll be able to track over time not just the weight changes, but the visual changes to yourself, which is an incredibly valuable tool. Not only that, it gives you the impetus to kind of stick with it. If people and people that you respect can see that you're trying to do something, you then make it not just about you. You've got other people invested in your journey. So that's 5 quick tips for weight loss. If you enjoyed this, or if you found this helpful at all, leave a comment, and have a good one. Good luck.